You're listening to Brick by Brick, a work boots approach to your wealth.
Well, welcome back to Brick by Brick, a work boots approach to your wealth. We have finally reached the end of season 1, episode 10 today. We're going to be talking about what people get wrong about long-term wealth. As always, I'm joined here by my partner in crime, Connor Theophalt. Again, I am Kyle Lubeck. We're from LGH Wealth Management. And we're pretty excited to bring it in today and wrap up the season, talk about some of the things, and hopefully talk about some of the previous episodes. Yeah, it's hopefully we'll have some fun today.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that we're 10 episodes into this thing. Thank you for following along. Thank you for sharing with friends, family, colleagues that find it interesting.
Yeah.
We're hoping,
and hopefully we've been helpful.
Yeah,
hopefully
right.
You've gleaned one thing out of the time you've given us. So thank you.
You know, we always say, or I always say to people, my nemesis is the millionaires do these 3 things. You should too: TikToks and Reels. And ultimately, our goal is to kind of combat some of that bad financial advice or information that financial experts on TikTok throw out there. And so we're trying to help good people make good decisions and have fun.
Well, yeah, and I think that we should take a second and talk about that. On all the social media stuff we see, not to stutter here, but the social media stuff we see are quick hit things, right? They're never part of like the overall plan. And that's the whole point of what we're talking about is what is the plan? What are the rules of engagement per se, or the rules of operation? And those quick hit things are good, but when you start to just stack them without any type of cohesive plan, you're just spinning your wheels in a lot of regards. So hopefully we're helping combat that a little bit. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for saying that. So, but of course, as always, to bring it together, last week was around the 4th of July. So wrapping this up after that, and we found a bottle and enjoyed a bottle, clearly, of a whiskey out of Wisconsin, of all places, called Curveball, the original barbecue whiskey. And so, yeah, it's 60 proof, so a lot lower proof than the apple pie that we had on the 4th of July area. But it's about 60 proof, but man, it tastes just like barbecue.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, took a little swig of that, and it is like barbecue burgers is what that tastes like. I was astounded.
But not syrupy. It doesn't
taste... no, it's not syrupy, but it is like
fake.
It is Southern barbecue, on pork, smoked. Yeah. I mean, it is barbecue sauce. I don't even know how they do that.
Yeah. Curveball, well done.
Yeah. You hit it on the head.
That was great. I know they got some other ones. I'm excited to try them as well. But this one was good, and I'd say it's probably not the best in our coffee. Barbecue and coffee.
Is an interesting
combo. It was, but it's early, and pouring a glass of bourbon in the morning just didn't seem right. So
barbecue flavored.
We did try it. It doesn't mix great with coffee, but straight up or on ice, or I'm sure they have some craft cocktails.
With a side of barbecue burger would probably be pretty solid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So cheers to that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to cheers. I don't think we even cheers last time.
We didn't cheers.
Yeah.
There we go. So, Kyle, I would say the overarching theme of the season, or the theme of our show even, and it is consistent through the next, couple of things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is, we always say boring beats broke, but the bottom line is wealth isn't or shouldn't be complicated, but that doesn't make it easy. Yeah. Building wealth shouldn't be complicated, but that doesn't mean it's easy. You got to do the work.
Yeah. Well, you got to do the work, and I really enjoyed our episode talking about some of the psychology behind why people make decisions, or how some of those decisions trickle down into different decisions. So it's also doing the work, but also taking a step back and understanding who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Your belief system around money, right? Like there's a financial and tactical and statistical answer to a lot of things, but we're human beings, and so the emotional side of things plays a huge role.
Yeah.
And being able to navigate and find the appropriate balance between those two becomes a really important factor, especially as you start to actually gain some momentum.
Right.
Understanding where that train track is going.
At the end of the day, the far and away most impactful factor in somebody creating wealth is their own behavior. Mm-hmm. And that can be a tough thing to swallow, tough pill to swallow, a tough thing to admit is, I'm the reason.
Yeah.
But that's the reality. And we see that all the time. The numbers back that up. The behavior of people is the reason why they fall short or they knock it out of the park, almost always.
I mean, I think anyone watching would agree that we live in a society where it's not my fault. Unfortunately, finances is one area. It is your fault.
Yep.
You made that choice to buy that thing or sign that lease or
Not
not
save
save
that
or
yeah.
whatever the case may be. And so, I've mentioned multiple times, and you've mentioned multiple times, make it a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You almost have to nowadays to say, all
Mhm.
right, I'm willing to sacrifice in the short term for the long term game. Boring beats broke,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Ding, ding,
And
ding.
ding, ding, ding. And I'm ready to be boring and turtle in the race and all
Yep.
the other analogies that
Yep.
exist out there. It really is. It's the every $5 you save now is $5 for your future self.
Mm.
And that may sound boring. That may suck.
That's the point.
It is. It's the
Mhm.
point. Yep. So yeah, we don't need to go around and around.
Well, and talking back through kind of the
Yeah.
episodes we had talked about with behavior and the psychology of things, some common false beliefs is where the behavior starts to go off the rails, right?
Mhm.
Comments like, "Well, I'll start later," "Well, I'll get to that in next month when this settles down," or "I'll get to that next quarter," "I'll get to that in 6 months," or "I'll save once I XYZ,"
Yeah.
and you just don't do it. You think you will, you truly believe you will, and you just don't do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Another one is I'm in control. We talked about this a couple episodes back. This idea that tinkering and changing and sort of this illusion of control. If I'm on top of it because I made a change or I made a little edit or I made a little move or I moved this over here. I'm in control.
Yeah.
The reality is the only thing you're in control of, again, is the things you do consistently.
Yeah.
And if you erase that consistency, what are you in control of now?
Yeah.
Right?
Or I'm going to wait for the market to settle.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to
exactly right.
wait for interest rates to drop before
Yep.
I've been saving for my house.
Absolutely.
Can't find the perfect house. I'm going to keep renting. Right.
Yeah, it's the timing myths of I'm gonna wait for a pullback or these prices can't remain. They're gonna come back and then I'll buy then. It's market's too volatile right now. I'm just gonna wait till it settles down.
Mm-hmm.
That is something you could always wait for because there's always a new headline. There's always a new reason why something is tough. And that doesn't mean you just dive into everything no matter what with no thinking, just now. But those are myths that people consistently say or we hear or they feel, and it's easy to feel that way, but it's not how you get towards those goals.
Oh yeah. Well, and there's Time Magazine. There's a wonderful timeline that you could probably Google search. So if anyone would like to, showing all the headlines going back to like the '60s, maybe even earlier. I'd have to go back and look. Of every time the cover of Time Magazine said the world was ending, the economy is going to crash, capitalism is dead. It sells magazines.
Yeah.
And so you just got to shut that off. Heck, shut off social media. I know we're on it. You're watching us on it right now. But if the healthy thing for you and your family and your financial future and your emotional future and everything is to shut off
It probably
social
is,
media,
by the way.
shut it off.
Yeah.
And go and live your life, help your community,
Yep.
and start to build those foundations and work back into, all right, consistent saving, reasonable spending, defining needs versus wants.
Mm-hmm.
What's an actual want versus what's an actual need, right?
Well, but I need it to do this and this and this, and if they got the leather seats, then that just makes it easier.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, what I was love? The cell phone.
Mm.
I need the new iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's free. Well, it's not free.
$400 worth of tax is free.
$400 worth of tax is free, and the time you have to spend in that contract and the insurance you pay on it, and it ends up being $2,200.
Yep.
It blows my mind sometimes. But and I'm not saying don't buy fun things every once in a while, but that bleeds, right? That's just human nature. I get that in one area. Well, now I need that in another area. Then I need that in another area. Then I need that in the other area. Wear the old boots.
Yep.
Do it.
Yep.
No one cares. Especially, I'm going to tell all you youngins that hopefully are watching this and taking something from it. Nobody over the age of 35 cares what you wear. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
Right? Look at us.
We look like
we're not the best dressed,
right?
We're 30-year-old boots. Nobody cares. You know what they care about? Your ability to take care of your family, the ability to save for your future, the ability not to be dependent on anyone else but yourself. Right?
Yeah.
It's the Gambler's got a great YouTube scene that you can watch. Called "FU Money." And it encapsulates what you should strive for, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in a more crass way, but it's a great.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, but it's kind of a motivating scene. So
another common one that people run into that we talked about a bit is waiting feels safe, meaning. Well, again, it's kind of a little bit back to the timing myth, but really it's like, now's not quite the right time. I'm just gonna wait, or I have the money in the account, but I'm just gonna leave that in cash for now because I just don't like the way it feels right now.
Yeah.
Or I'm not gonna buy that house because I just not sure interest rates might fall. You know, pretty much every period in the last 100 years of the stock market, of the real estate market.
Yeah.
If you waited 5 years, you missed out on a bunch of gains, and that's not always the case. And I'm
Right.
not saying go buy, but if you're not intentional, that's
Yeah.
ultimately the purpose. If you're not intentional, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah. Well, and I think talking hyperbole and big picture is great, but real life example, we have a client been saving for a house for over 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
known him for over 10 years. Awesome guy, but trying to find the property and the right price and the right interest rate
Yeah.
and renting, driving the amount of distance he drives to his job every day because he's trying to find the right house in the
Yeah.
area. The houses have almost doubled
Yep.
in value at
Yep.
that point. They're not coming down. They're
Right.
just not.
Right.
And meanwhile, he's living in this stasis, this kind of middle ground between being comfortable where he's at and where he ultimately wants to
Wants to
be.
go.
He's almost building up a callus of just staying there. And my
Mm-hmm.
fear is he's never going to realize the dream he ultimately has. He doesn't have a dream of retiring necessarily. He has a dream of home ownership.
Right.
He's pushed that off for 10 years beyond when he could have bought.
Yeah.
And the situation isn't, or the environment he's trying to operate in isn't getting any better.
And it's just
And
changing.
so
Yeah.
that's a real life example of like,
Yeah.
if you have a goal, set the goal, work backwards to the actions you need to take,
Yep.
take exactly those amount of actions, and then execute the goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the nice thing about finance and mortgages. It's math.
Mm-hmm.
Math is ones and zeros
Yep.
at its core, right? I'm being a little silly here, but it's simple. It's black and white. There's
Yeah.
no intent to it.
Mm.
It's this is what you're trying to do. Apply that. Control what you can control, which is your savings rate. Right? You can't control what the market does,
Yep.
but you can control your savings rate. You can control your intentionality. You can control the amount of risk you're comfortable taking, and then match that risk to the goal timeline. And you are well on your way to getting
Yeah.
those knocked off.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And one thing with that, and again, we talked about this, but don't expect linear progress, meaning you don't start and then it just goes like this and you just blink and all of a sudden you're the person you're following on Instagram.
Linearly, this point is this.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't want linear.
No.
I wouldn't want linear. I don't want my actions and efforts I put in today that if I'm consistent over time to give me the same outcomes 10 years from now.
Right.
I want it to multiply.
Yeah, you want it to be exponential, meaning it goes like that
Yeah.
versus straight up and down. And people, to your point earlier, they see social media, they never see the work. Well, if it's even real, right?
Yeah.
But the real ones, you never see the work, you never see the failures. You just see picture with 10,000 likes that you're like, wow, I want that car, oh, I want that house, oh, I want that life.
Yep.
Again, that's unhealthy in and of itself.
Yeah.
But if you are working towards that type of thing, it doesn't just happen like that. And it doesn't just happen because you started, because we told you start. And you go, well, what the heck? 3 days later, what the heck? 6 months later, what the heck? 4 years, 10 years later, what happened? Compounding is slow, and then it starts to pick up, and it goes like that. It's like a hockey stick. What they say.
Well, and for my own life, I had when I'm younger, and I'm not going to say everyone feels this way, but when you're younger, you kind of want to conquer the world, right? I remember those feelings, especially as a young male. There's just a biological component to that, which maybe not everyone feels that, but I'm just saying me personally. And I remember the day Kira was born. The second she arrived, everything switched 180. I no longer cared about what car I drove. I no longer cared about the clothes I wore or the watch I wore or having $1 billion in the bank. I still am pursuing that, but I'm with the intent of giving them a better life or with the vision of creating a legacy of my business, or you know what I mean? It's a desire above myself.
Yep.
And I'm no longer trying to impress anyone. I'm trying to create stability in a foundation that carries beyond me.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's my kids or not, or to a foundation I start, or to a charity I believe in and want to support, or a church I want to get involved with to that level, right? I still make my tithes, but it's a switch, and that's the psychological point that I am most interested in. Is and I love about finance and behavior modeling is live in the environment you have now and appreciate that, but consistently learn and talk to your elders. You can glean a lot of wonderful life advice.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't the best with their finances. Maybe they whatever. Ask them what they did wrong. Ask them what they look back on and say, I didn't do this right, or I didn't save the way I should, or I didn't participate in the employer 401k like I should have, or I didn't get life insurance to protect my family and now I got a sickness that I'm unable to,
Yep.
or
Yep.
whatever the situation may be. Ask those questions of the people that are in your environment, because guess what? Older folks absolutely love helping young
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
They just, you reach a certain age where it's no longer about yourself. They genuinely
Yeah.
switch to
They
caring
want
about
to
your
pass that
community.
wisdom down. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want to improve it, and
Mhm.
it's a wonderful gift. Get off the phones, get off the screens. You're not going to learn real information from that. Learn
Right.
from people that are actually by you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, there's my soapbox for the day.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
man, if I could just impart anything before the end of the week, go and ask one elder in your area. It doesn't have to be someone in a nursing home necessarily, but someone older than you that's a
Yeah.
further phase of life than you.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. What advice do you have, good or bad?
Yep.
Man.
One of the speaking of wisdoms that I think people learn if they do the investing long enough, they do the financial stuff long enough, is the humbling fact that you are not in control of what something like the stock market does.
Yeah.
One thing that we've talked about, one thing we run into a lot is somebody starts, and I often say the worst thing that can happen for a new investor is they hit a home run right away, because now they think I'm awesome at this, and they get over their skis and they get overexposed, and they're not wearing the pants when the tide goes out, as I think Warren Buffett said. So the overconfidence bias, well, I know what I'm doing, well, I got that right, leads to thinking you got things right when maybe you didn't. Maybe it was all tides rising and things like that. And this is why consistent and boring tend to work out long term.
It's like walking in the casino, playing craps, and
Mhm.
calling the first roll, and then thinking the next roll
You're going to
you
call
have
again.
control of.
Yep.
Nope,
Exactly.
they're all independent rolls.
Yep.
The math is the
Yep.
same for every individual
That's
roll.
exactly right.
It doesn't compound. It's not like, oh, they haven't rolled an 8 forever, they're going to roll an 8
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No.
Yeah, I think that was excellent.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for watching this entire first season of Brick by Brick, the show where we take a work boots approach to your wealth. We are super excited for season 2, where we're talking about a number of different topics. I think we're going to dive into things like, how does this account work? How does the tax code work? Super exciting.
yeah.
But actually get into real specific topics that affect people's lives. We also might be interviewing some professionals in different kind of areas.
Yeah.
How do we sell a business? How do we again, do taxes, different things like that. And then, honestly, a little bit selfish, but I'd love to have us react to some of those financial TikToks and look at them
Yeah.
live for the first time, and give some real thoughts and real reactions to some of the financial content that's unfortunately out there in front of people.
Yeah.
Those are just some of our ideas, but we'd love to hear from you. If you have something you'd like us to talk about, if you have someone you'd like us to interview, if you have something you'd really like us to cover, shoot us an email at workbootswealth@gmail.com, workbootswealth@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We would love to have you along for the ride moving into season 2 and beyond.
Yeah. And thank you so much for sticking with us this far. If you take anything from it, start. Just start.
Yep.
Do something. Change one habit that you know is not helping you in the long term.
Yep.
You can do this.
Yep.
It's really easy if you take small bites of the elephant,
Yep.
as we've said before.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We'll be here every step of the way.
Blessings. Have
Cheers,
a great
everybody.
day. Cheers.
See you on the other side of season 1.
Thanks.